Hello everyone, my name is Alicia Jade and welcome back to the Get Me Off podcast. Slicker.
Oh yeah.
Slicker.
What, the slide in?
No, the whole thing.
I thought you meant that. I was like, you nailed that.
Oh, did I? Oh, it's a good little slide.
Yeah.
My podcast?
Yeah.
It's not called Nobody Cares About My Face.
No. What did you say it was called when we started?
Get Me Off.
That's it.
I know.
Love that.
It's a good name, isn't it?
It is. Get Me Off.
I know. I came up with it in, that will have been in the first episode how I came up with that. But yeah, it's funny. I like it anyway. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Get Me Off podcast. Today, we have a wonderful guest, Daisy. I'm excited to have you on because we always have great conversations.
I'm excited to be on. Thank you so much for having me.
Yay. And this is your first podcast as well, isn't it?
This is my first ever podcast anywhere.
I feel privileged.
I feel privileged.
I love it. So let's do a little introduction. Who are you and what do you do?
So I'm Daisy. I am actually a drama teacher, which I still do 4 days a week. And then 3 years ago, I got divorced. I've been very honest about it on my Instagram page, but I was with someone for 11 years. And then all of a sudden, my whole world was kind of turned upside down. He was involved with someone else, and so I had to basically press reset. So a lot of my friends said to me, oh, you've got really good recommendations of where to go. You always have good ideas of where we can take the kids. So why didn't you start a page? And I thought, okay, why not? Life's too short, might as well just try it.
And when was this? When did you start?
This was 2023, so 2020.
Oh, wow, so it's only 3 years ago.
Only 3 years, yeah. So it's
Interesting.
literally not been that long. And then I started it. I called it Mum About Town. And initially it was just about kind of recommendations of places to go in Hampshire. And then from that, it's become much more about being a solo parent, being a single mum, sort of empowering women, about being the best versions of themselves, kind of accepting themselves for who they are and owning who we are.
Which is so important.
Yeah, really important.
Amazing.
So yeah, and then Mum About Town has just grown from there.
Which is amazing, and that's kind of how mine started, which is why the name is still the Southampton Girl, because I don't really have anything to change it to, but that it started in the same way of people always asking me questions. Mine was a bit different because everyone would ask me and I'd be like, I can't be bothered to repeat myself 10 times, so I'm going to make a page so that you don't need to ask me.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I know you as the Southampton Girl now, so I don't think I could imagine you as anything else.
Well, I don't know. I would like it to be like just my name or something like that.
Really?
But I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Because I recommend a lot more than just places to go here now. But as you say,
100%.
it becomes like a brand name, doesn't it? Because this is something that a lot of people don't understand about blogging and influencing. And there is a difference as well, which if you've been in the game as long as I have, you know the difference.
Yeah.
Because it started as bloggers because you had a blog.
Yeah.
And you wrote on the blog,
Long pieces.
articles. Yeah, exactly. And then obviously now it's kind of the term is more influencer for people that don't have blogs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you get like vloggers, which is obviously like video, YouTube, stuff like that. But in general, if they've got a YouTube, they will probably have multiple channels, in which case they are in general an influencer.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, it can get quite confusing for people.
It is confusing, and a lot of people refer to me as a blogger, but technically I'm not a blogger. I'm an Instagrammer.
Yes, yeah. But there's so many different words.
Yeah, people call me an influencer. I don't really like the term influencer, if I'm honest, because I'm very normal and I'm just your average person. So, I don't know. I'm just me.
Do you think the word influencer has a negative connotation now?
I think in some ways, yeah. And I think people have an idea of maybe what an influencer is, where for me, I'm just your average kind of size 14, 5'3", Hampshire single mum.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
for me, I don't feel like an influencer because of the kind of picture I think that people have created of what an influencer is.
Of being like a Kylie Jenner type.
Yeah, maybe. I think that, majority of influencers, but back in the day for sure. I mean, when I was growing up and when I started getting, Facebook and Instagram and all these things, I think that was definitely the kind of image of what an Instagrammer was. Someone who was,
Polished.
in great shape and polished, and absolutely. And actually for me, it's really important that anyone can do this. And I think spreading that message is really important, which is why I talk a lot about just owning who you are. Yes, we've all got bits that we would rather not have. Yes, we all are a bit hard on ourselves, but actually we're all unique and there's only one of us.
But there's also some things like I don't choose to share my personal life.
Yep.
And there are like snippets and bits that I've shared, but I
Yep.
don't ever choose to share my personal life because I feel like I share enough already.
Yeah.
Like every single part of my day, every single part of my like jobs, like literally everything, every part of me in a way. Like I just don't feel like sharing my relationships and partnerships and like dating and stuff like that. It's just not really my vibe. I don't know. Potentially with this podcast and stuff now, like I will share a little bit more, but in general,
But I think
just
it's
don't.
important for you to do what you're happy with.
Exactly, and to have some kind of like partly an overused word now, but to have some kind of boundaries
100%.
with what I do share and what I don't share. And I think that's where like the term brand comes in as an influencer, because yes, the whole of me would include relationships, family, all of that kind of stuff, but the brand version of me doesn't.
Yeah.
Because I need to hold something back for myself.
100%. And I think for me, you know, I was always a little bit kind of wary of involving my child, because obviously my little boy is a part of it. I've always kept him very much as the sidekick though.
Yeah.
So obviously he features and stuff, but the page is predominantly about me and my life.
Yeah.
Obviously he's a very big part of my life, so he is going to feature. But as he gets older, I'm much more aware of kind of his decisions on things. So, you know, if he decides that he doesn't want to be a part of certain things, I'll very much respect that. And we've already had chats about that already. Occasionally he doesn't want to do something and I just leave it. Because actually, as he becomes older, you know, he's absolutely entitled to choose what he does and what he doesn't do.
Yeah.
And that's really important for me.
How do you feel about, this wasn't something that I had on my mental list of questions, but how do you feel about him having social media?
I don't mind the idea of him having social media.
So how old is he now?
So he's 6.
Okay.
So it's a long way off.
Yeah. Well,
Well, I know, in this day and age, give it a couple of years. But I think because he's seen how positive the experience has been for me, I think there's a large part of it that will be positive for him, in the sense that he's grown up seeing just how much it's benefited our lives.
yeah.
A wonderful community of people that I've met through Instagram as well. And so far, touch wood, I haven't had really that much negativity. Obviously, I know we're all going to encounter little things every now and again, but generally I've been very lucky. So I hope that he takes from that just actually how positive a community it can be.
And I think it's more about understanding as well, because I hate it when people coin the term social media is bad, because it's not bad. It's
No,
however
it's
it's an inanimate object. It's an inanimate thing that's whatever you make it.
100%.
So if you use it to learn and grow and like watch podcasts or learn languages or like Google every scientific fact that you want to, like then that's a good way of using it. So I feel like it's about teaching kids and young people how to use it in a beneficial way.
Exactly. Absolutely, 100%. And for me, I mean, it's basically been the making of me. I mean, without my page, you know, I'd obviously still be drama teaching, which, you know, gives me a lot of joy, and I'd still have my home and my child, and I've got all these wonderful things around me. I've got wonderful friends and family, and I'm very lucky. But Instagram has given me a real platform, and I'm incredibly grateful for that, because the things that I've done now the last 3 years with my son are incredible.
Yeah.
And I feel so grateful, and I don't think I'll ever become somebody that doesn't take that for granted. You know?
But even like, no matter how long you've been doing it, like I've been doing it for 10 years, and God,
crazy,
by all means, I am nowhere near some of these influencers that, like I have friends that have like 1 million, 2 million followers, things like that. It's not, like it's crazy. And I see the events they go to and stuff like that, but I went to an event in Selfridges the other week, and it was with a publishers and a book, like for a book launch. And I just walked into this room, and I don't often get this, but I literally walked in this room and I was like, oh my God. I was like, the people that were in this room are people that I've read about, seen in magazines, seen in movies. Like,
it's like a stunt moment.
And I'm not like, it's not that I haven't been around people of that caliber. It was that like all of a sudden I was invited on the same level as them at the same event. And I was
it's
like,
such a lovely feeling though, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And like that feeling kind of never goes away. And even you'll see it, like I'm an avid watcher of the Kardashians, and anyone who wants to slate me for that, you can do, but I find them very inspirational. And there was one episode.
I mean, look at Kylie.
Exactly. And there was one episode where Kim got dressed.
This empire.
Yeah, Kim got dressed in Milan or something by Prada. And she's just like running around this room being like, this will never get old. Like literally Prada have brought all these clothes for me. And it doesn't matter what level you get to.
No.
It's still exciting
100%.
doing all of these different things. And like it doesn't get boring as long as you actually enjoy what you do.
100%. And I think as long as you stay grounded and you kind of remember just how, you know, grateful you are and how lucky you are.
Yeah.
I think that's incredibly important, you know, because a lot of people do let it get to their heads. And
Yeah,
I think as long as you
definitely.
just stay grounded and you remember, you know, why you're doing it as well.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
important.
No, I love it. And I find it really interesting. And it's going to be interesting to see how it evolves, like how people move with socials. Like
100%.
I think every couple of years it hits a certain plateau almost, and then something has to change.
Absolutely.
Or something does change. And it's like, oh, okay, we have to learn everything again.
Absolutely.
And this is why I find
it's like Reels, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
Reels change and then there's like this new feature and it's like, whoa.
Yeah, exactly. But I feel
Yeah.
like there's always a big shift every couple of years. And doing psychology now, like my psychology degree, it's so like, God, that's what they use to build social media, I can tell you now. And it's mad.
Yeah.
It's mad. I know.
But amazing.
So, what's next for you in terms of like, what are your plans? What do you enjoy? What do you want to do? Like, would you do influencing full time? Or
I think, yeah, if I'm honest, the end goal is to do it full time. That would be amazing. At the moment, I've got a mortgage to pay. I've got bills to pay.
Don't we all? Oh,
yeah,
God.
literally. I've got a child who, you know, I have 5 days a week. So he is predominantly with me. And I have to have an income coming through. And obviously the point about, you know, social media and Instagram and stuff is it's amazing and you get loads of wonderful gifted things and, you know, experiences, and that's fantastic, but those don't pay bills.
No.
So I'm getting a lot more paid work with my page, which is great, but obviously, you know, I have to keep a proper job in
Yes.
inverted commas going because that's the reality. One day, yeah, it'd be amazing to do it full time, but right now it's nice doing both.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. And I think it's nice to have that sort of break as well. And you can kind of
Absolutely.
swap between the two. And like, there are certain things certain collaborations and things that I will take just because it's fun to do.
Yeah, 100%.
And then other things I'm like, no, that would use up my time that I could do something
Yeah,
else.
absolutely. And, you know, I'm obviously very grateful for anyone that gets in contact with me and wants to work with me. But I think it's important to do things that you really want to do.
Yes.
And that you really enjoy.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving forward, to answer your other question, my book is coming out next week, which is very exciting.
Exciting.
Obviously, I don't know when this podcast is going to be launched, but my book will be out on the 2nd of December.
Okay, well, your book will be out. So
Woohoo!
I will leave the link if you're on YouTube.
It's like looking into the future.
I know. Well, ta-da, your book's out.
So easy.
I know, fantastic. Launch done. But no, I'll leave the link in the description for the
Thank you, that's so
YouTube
kind.
watchers. And then if anyone's on Spotify, obviously just head to Daisy's page.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it will be in the link in my bio. So literally
Which
on my
is,
Instagram page.
what's your at?
Mum about town. So mum_about town.
Perfect.
And literally in the bio there'll be a link and you can just click on it and you can order it off Amazon. So it'll be super easy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me everything. What's it about? How much can you reveal at this point?
I'm more than happy to talk about kind of, you know, what it's about and everything. So it's a separation survival guide.
Love.
So basically, I wanted to create something that's interactive, so everyone that buys it can write in it themselves. So it's personal to everyone that's going through a separation or a divorce. And I'll be honest, it's something that I kind of wish I had when I was going through my divorce. You know, I'm still, you know, I'm 33 now, and when I was going through it, I was 30, and not many people at 30 are going through a divorce. It's
Especially of 11 years.
100%, and it was mind-blowing to me, and no one really understood. Obviously, my family were great, my friends were super supportive, but no one really understood what I was going through.
Yeah.
And it would have been lovely to have something that just kind of said, these are the emotions you're going to go through, this is the roller coaster that you're about to embark on.
Yeah.
You're going to be okay, you will come out the other side, but be prepared, because
Yeah.
actually it's going to be up and down, and it's going to be traumatic.
And I think it's so important to feel your feelings as well, because there's so much pressure
Yep.
from, I guess, like friends and family, of everyone going, don't worry, you'll be fine, or just think about the next thing, or just move
Yeah.
on, or get over it, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
There's so much pressure to not feel these feelings that like really upsets me, because you need to sit and feel what you're feeling
100%.
in order to figure that out and move on.
Exactly. And you need to feel all of these emotions. Like you said, like, you know, 1 minute you'll want to date like crazy, and then the next minute you'll want to be on your own, and then one day you'll feel like a bag of crap, and then the next day you feel like you're going to conquer the world. Like you literally feel like you're all over the place.
That's me all the time, let alone in a separation.
But it's normal, isn't it?
Yes.
Like, you know, those are the feelings that you're going to encounter.
Yeah.
And as you said, there is a lot of pressure, I think, sometimes on, you know, having to feel a certain way for a certain amount of time. Like, no one should be the judge of that. We are our own individuals. We are our own people. I'm in a great place right now, and I feel very happy generally.
Yeah.
But there are days where occasionally I'm reminded of what I've gone through, and I'm like, wow, is this really the reality that I'm living in? Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that ever will go away. And it's okay to feel that, you know? It's okay to be in that place.
And I think, like, growing is the most important thing, and we are technically a product of all of our experiences, which is why no one person is the same, because even in the same situation, both or however many people involved will experience that situation differently. So that's why there can be so many people that are in a certain situation, but one of them sees it as trauma, the other one doesn't, the other one doesn't even remember it. Like, it's everyone experiences everything so differently. So to have
100%.
to have something physical and tangible that you can write your feelings down in, and have someone, it's almost like a little person there. It's like you in someone's pocket being like, don't worry, I'm supporting you. You've got this.
And it's a small book, you know, it's not a big book. And the reason why I didn't want it to be a massive book is because I wanted it to be able to kind of go in your handbag. You can take it with you. You know, you can look through it. You can remind yourself daily of how strong you are and how you've got this, and you know you can get through this. So yeah, I am proud of it. I'm really excited for it to come out, and I hope it's well received.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Well, I mean, technically, I can use it as well. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, we've both been through, I mean, mine's definitely not as much of a major separation as yours is.
Yeah, but still it's valid. Like, your feelings are valid. What you've gone through is tough, you know?
Exactly, and it's still a separation, and I feel like shorter relationships can feel just as big as big relationships. Like, I don't think the time necessarily matters.
No,
and
not at all.
although, like, each person experiences the separation differently, it is still it's a huge life change. Like, it's a massive change for most people all the time, because you go from speaking to somebody every day, like, I didn't live with my ex, but a lot of my stuff, well, a good 50 to 60% of my stuff was in that house, and some of it still is, because I have nowhere else to put it. So it's like a massive change to then, I don't know, put that stuff somewhere, or like, who do I turn to for XYZ and that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's different.
It is. And just little things like not seeing that person pop up on your phone every morning, and, you know, that routine of what you get very used to, you know, suddenly when all of that changes, it's really hard to adapt to and adjust to.
Do you think, this is a deep question that you might not want to answer.
Hit me. I'm an open book, you know that.
Do you think, had what happened not happened, do you think you and your ex-husband would have grown in separate directions, or do you think you would have grown together? Because 11 years is a long time to be in a relationship, especially at the age where you are changing the most. And I find it very interesting that people can go from, like, childhood sweethearts and then, like, just stay married forever, and some people then don't. Like, I just find that interesting.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, I got married to this guy because I loved him and I thought that he was the person I'd spend the rest of my life with. It didn't work out that way. And yes, it's horrendous, and actually, you know, I didn't deserve what happened to me, and, you know, it's a very painful few years that I've been through. However, am I grateful that it happened? Yeah. Because it's crazy that I'm even saying that, but as I get older and as more time moves on, so much stuff has happened since I divorced, and my personal growth has been incredible.
And I know you have a good relationship with him now.
Oh yeah, massively. Yeah. And I would never allow it to be any different, because at the end of the day, we have a child together.
Yeah.
And I don't want my child to grow up with this kind of like negative, you know, judgment of his father, because
or of relationships.
Exactly. And I just, it was really important to me that whatever I had going on in my own, you know, head with regards to what happened with me and my ex, that did not impact our son.
Yeah.
And that for me was huge. Has it been easy? Absolutely not. It's been such hard work, and, you know, to kind of separate those two. But I'm so glad that I've been strong about it and I've kept our relationship really amicable because actually we co-parent brilliantly and we want the best for each other. Like, he's read my book, you know, he's read the sections that kind of involve him a little bit, and he's supportive because at the end of the day, he knows that actually this is my story, this is my truth, it's what happened. Yeah. It's fact.
Yeah.
You know?
And you can't take that back.
Absolutely not. But yeah, I think we're quite similar in this respect, but I think we both feel that things really happen for a reason.
Oh, absolutely. And we were talking about like woo-woo witchy stuff earlier, weren't we? Yeah. And I like it does make me laugh.
I love how you say woo-woo witchy.
Woo-woo witchy stuff. And I'm so into my woo-woo witchy stuff. Like, catch me with Sage roaming around my living room.
I've just got this image of you now. Literally, like dancing around with
I'm not even kidding. The other night, right, I was drinking red wine in my kitchen whilst prepping like really nice home-cooked vegetable soup, listening to Taylor Swift Mastermind, lighting candles and saging my bedroom.
You're in your element.
I really am. Like, I've never been more like at peace than I am now. And it says so much about... Yeah. Because I don't blame everything on the breakup of relationships and things like that. I've done so much personal growth work. Like, I've had hypnotherapy. My hypnotherapist is coming on in January in one of these episodes.
Love that.
So that will be very interesting. So I've had hypnotherapy. I've had what I call talkie therapy, which is just obviously speaking to a therapist, stuff like that. I've done an immense amount of research on my own. And I think even if it takes a relationship breaking up to like restart you again, sometimes that's all you need.
It's so interesting as well, because when I saw you today, I said to you, didn't I, you look glowing and you seem really good and really happy. And so many people, since I've sort of become a lot happier on my own and a lot more content in my own company, a lot of my friends have said we sort of feel like the old Daisy's back. Yeah. And it's really interesting, isn't it, that you can't see that when you're going through all that pain and all that trauma, but actually... when you get to that place of, it's so funny, like sometimes I'm just on my own at home in the evenings when my little one's with his dad. Yeah. And I've just got, you know, a bowl of food, I'm watching some trash on TV, I've got all my candles lit. Yeah. I'm so happy. Yeah. And it's amazing, isn't it, how you can have that real just sense of contentment that you never thought you could have. Yeah, definitely. And it just comes suddenly. Yeah. And I think I find it really important. I don't know if I'm sure there is a word for it, and I found it, but I can't remember what it was, and it was like this really intricate word. But basically, it's like treating everything as if it was special. So like, I have a nice coffee machine, and I choose my coffee mugs separately so that when I wake up in the morning, I enjoy going to making my morning coffee. And it's something that's so simple and so many people would overlook. But if you make every single point of your day enjoyable, like that night when I was dancing around to Taylor Swift, I've got the speaker that I wanted, so I enjoy listening to the music. Yep. I've got nice glasses of wine that I picked, not particularly expensive, I just like the shape of them. Yep. Even the wine was cheap because I'm poor at the moment, because I've just come out of a relationship. Well, not just, but you know what I mean. Like, it doesn't have to be expensive. No. And it's just like, I was cooking with the pans that I like and things like this, like making everything enjoyable. Makes such a difference. Absolutely. Instead of getting something out of the cupboard and being like, oh, I've got to use that again. It's so true though, because when I bought my place that I'm now in, I had to do a lot of like renovation to it and stuff because it needed a lot of work. Yeah. And my kitchen is green with gold handles. And a lot of my friends sort of said to me when I did it, they were like, oh, wow, it's a bit OTT, isn't it? It's a bit, you know, it's a bit extravagant. And my response was, yeah, it is. But I know every single day when I go into that kitchen, and it's still the case a few months on, I walk into that kitchen and I am instantly happy. Yeah, so I had this thing, and it annoys me, like, when people put out their opinions and stuff like that. So basically, anyone that follows me on Instagram or whatever probably knows that I've got an old style Range Rover. It's like 2012, 13 year, and it was the last year that they did the style I liked. And it was something I'd wanted since I was about 13 years old. I literally have pictures, like, you know when your Facebook does like Facebook memories? I posted it in like, I don't know, 2005 or something stupid like that, when it was like all the rage. And I remember posting it when I was really proud that I'd got it. Yeah. And I put it on my Instagram, and someone put some comment like, oh, that's a nice 5K you're driving round. Like, basically like digging the fact that I'd got an old style Range Rover. And it's not the money thing that annoyed me, because it definitely didn't cost £5,000. Otherwise I would have got it bloody sooner. But what annoyed me was that someone assuming that I bought something just because of the monetary value and not because of it was something that I wanted. Like, absolutely, I could walk into the Range Rover dealers and pick myself up a new one, or maybe like a few years old or something like that.
I don't want one because I don't like them.
No.
The engine blew up in that
That's what
one.
makes you happy.
But I replaced the engine instead of getting a new car because I want that car. I like that car.
But it's important to, as I said, you know, we were saying, just to do things for you and not for other people.
Exactly.
And as I've got older, I've become much more just...
Don't give a fuck.
Yeah. And I couldn't have put it better myself. But it's interesting, isn't it, as you get older? And I think also going through quite traumatic things, you know, has a part to play in that. I think once you go through quite tough... you know, challenging moments in your life, you do grow a really thick skin.
Yes.
And actually, you know, if someone's not accepting you for who you are, or, you know, you feel like you're not getting warmth from someone or acceptance from someone, actually life's too short.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, I want to be around people that feed my soul and that I can support 100%, and that, you know, there's that acceptance from both sides. And I think that comes, you know, what you were saying as well with like things that you own and like things that you want. Life's too short.
Yeah,
Make yourself happy.
Oh, and I used to save all my special shoes and perfumes and stuff like that. And then I looked at it one day and I was like, I've spent so much money on all of this stuff and I've not ever used it. Yeah. So I don't, like, if I want to wear my nice perfume, I'll wear it. But 100%. I think mine is like a scarcity mindset because when I was younger, we really didn't have much. And I know everyone says that boohoo sob story, whatever, but that's not like, I say it as in am scared that I won't be able to have this thing again, so I don't use it. But that's not, I shouldn't be thinking like that because that's a scarcity mindset, and in manifestation terms that does like absolutely nothing. I should be using things as if these are my everyday things, and in which case I will end up having more of them, and that's just how I need to look at it.
But also, as I said, just fundamentally do what makes you happy. It's nothing to do with anyone else. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters. You know, I always say this, but as long as you're a good person, you know, you're a good friend, you're a good mum in my case, you know, good sister, whatever, good daughter. As long as you know you're a good person fundamentally, who cares?
And
like, just do what makes you happy. Yeah.
Those things are subjective. So a good mum doesn't necessarily mean doing X, Y, Z.
Exactly.
It's whatever your child and your family need.
100%. 100%. So, yeah.
Oh, I love it. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been so lovely.
I know, we always
And I'm so proud of you for doing this.
Thanks.
This is really, really great. And I hope that it just, does really well.
Thank you.
And I'm honoured to be one of your first guests. It's very exciting.
And I'm so excited to read your book.
I'm so excited for you to come to my launch.
I know. Well,
so
we would
glad
have
you
had
can
the
be
launch.
there. Well, yeah, we're in the future.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Your launch was fantastic.
Thanks so much.
I love that.
Wish it was that easy.
So where can people find you on socials?
So, I think I mentioned already before, but if you're on Instagram, that's where my main page is. So it's mum_about_town, and that is my Instagram. And you can literally order my book from the link in my bio.
And you have another Instagram as well?
I have another Instagram, yeah, thank you for mentioning. So I run Hampshire Parents, which is Hampshire_parents. And it's basically a group for like-minded women, for Hampshire-based mums, Hampshire business owners, and it's just a really lovely support network. So every week we do things like Follow Fab Parent Friday, where you can nominate someone to give them a boost. We have Sunday Small Business Shout Out, where you can nominate a small business.
Love that.
And it's just, the point of it is just to support and to share.
Sirens.
You can tell we're in the city.
Exactly.
But yeah, the point of it is just to basically support each other, share each other things, and just be, a great kind of Hampshire hub.
I love that.
And we do meetups as well. We do meetups every 2 months.
Ooh. Well, I'll see you there.
You have to be a mum, honey.
Oh, I have
I'm
a
so
cat.
sorry.
I'm
Some
a
of my
cat
friends
mum.
have said this. I've got a friend who's got a dog. You know who you are. And she messaged me being like, can I come? Because I've got a dog.
Yeah, I'm a cat mum. Does that not
I
count?
suppose I could bend the rules slightly.
We'll see. We'll
Okay.
see. We'll see. I'll get TBC, to be confirmed.
TBC.
Well, thank you everyone for listening.
Yeah,
and I
thank you.
will see you in the next episode. Hope you enjoyed. Obviously, give Daisy a follow. And thank you so much for joining me. It's been
Thank you
really
so
nice.
much for having me.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.